Over in the pages of DC Comics, we recently got the opportunity to see Mary Bromfeld really rise up as a hero in the pages of the new champion of Shazam. In addition, I started to get a little bit attached to Mary as a superhero in Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods, where Mary had the opportunity to team up with her brother Billy, also known as Shazam, to battle the gods and some of the forces doing battle with Wonder Woman. Alongside the Wonder Woman ongoing series, it seemed like DC Comics had established Mary and Billy as dual champions. However, when DC Comics recently revealed their Shazam ongoing series from Mark Waid and Dan Mora, the focus on Mary had largely dissipated. Thankfully, DC Comics has switched gears yet again over for Night Terror's Shazam to tell a story about Mary facing the villain known as TETH-SHAZAM. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and jump into Night Terror Shazam to see if Mary is able to battle one of her opponents. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. And I want to go ahead and introduce Night Terror Shazam #1 with DC Comics solicitation text for the issue. Enter TETH-SHAZAM. Of all Earth's heroes, Billy Batson is the only one in double danger because he and the captain are each haunted by their own set of nightmares. And if the world's mightiest mortal can't survive his own fears, what chance does the rest of the Shazamily have? Want to introduce our creative team over on Night Terror Shazam, over on the story called Night Magic. This one is written by Mark Waid, featuring art from Roger Cruz, inks from Wellington Dias. We have colors from Arif Prianto, letters from Troy Peteri, and the cover is coming in directly from Shazam ongoing series artist Dan Mora. Really appreciate this spooky cover, teasing the fact that TETH-SHAZAM is kind of haunting Mary over in the issue. And I want to extend a big thank you to Adventures in Poor Taste for posting all of these Night Terrors previews so fast as well. Let's go ahead and start off our review for Night Terror Shazam by talking a little bit about Roger Cruz's pencils over to the series. So the first thing I want to say here is it's really just impossible to deny the fact that Roger Cruz is a much different artist than main ongoing Shazam artist Dan Mora over in the series. I wish we had some of that same kind of clean and slick line carried through in a story that's presented over from Mary. However, there are a few good moments in the issue, especially later on when we see Mary go up to bat against TETH-SHAZAM. Their confrontation between these two characters is filled with animosity, and I think some of the facial expressions and the way that Cruz is able to render the cape of TETH-SHAZAM is quite chilling in the story. But elsewhere, I think some of these kind of murky facial expressions, don't fully immerse me in the story like I wanted them to. So really hope that Cruz maybe is able to develop as an artist and render a cleaner line to deliver more interest over in the issue as a whole. Now, in terms of the script from Mark Waid, I was really highly anticipating Night Terror Shazam to be able to catch back up with Mary Bromfeld. And there were some good moments in this story, but I wish Mark Waid would have taken a few more plot threads over from Lazarus Planet. I wish he would have been able to maybe bring in Wonder Woman and some of her supporting cast over into this story. As a matter of fact, I think some of these Night Terrors issues are going to start feeling really formulaic as characters are essentially brought into their nightmares, see their origins recontextualized, and face some sort of foe over in the story. I did think there were some good moments with Mary as well as some of the Vasquez family throughout the story, and think that some of the interactions she had with her parents in particular brought out the humor in the book really nicely. But I think if you kind of compare this issue over to what Mark Waid has done with some of the dinosaurs in the first couple issues, the sense of humor just doesn't compare, at least for me, honestly, in this story. But one moment that really did manage to catch my interest is the way that Insomnia is recontextualized over in the chapter. I don't necessarily want to give it away because it's such a sort of thrilling moment in an issue where I was waiting for something big and epic to kind of happen over in the series. I also like in this tale how Mary is kind of sent over to a sleep specialist. I think it builds some intrigue into the story and also calls upon what Insomnia is doing over in the main tale. In the final couple pages, the book switched towards a really big horror tone, and I don't think it's able to quite capture some of that with that narrative feeling intact over for the series. I think the tone is just a little bit off in these final moments. I think one aspect to that could be the more animated approach over to Roger Cruz's expressions for some characters in the issue, that when really big and horrific things happen in the final couple pages, it's hard to take the characters seriously despite the really horrific and violent actions that they are embarking on. And I do wish that some of the finer sense of characterization, like Mary's schoolwork, was also kind of referenced or utilized a little bit more in this tale as well. So at the end of the day here, I think in terms of all of these Night Terrors comics, the one that really has kind of stood out to me as the bottom of the pack is definitely Night Terrors Shazam, as well as some other titles like Night Terrors Joker. I wish that some of these comics that are embarking over in the Night Terrors direction took on more of the plot threads from their main ongoing series to break some of that narrative momentum that so many comics are going to be entrenched with in terms of the greater Night Terrors line. I want to know from you, did you enjoy this issue more than I did? What did you think about Mary's fight over with TETH-SHAZAM? And did you like Roger Cruz's pencils more than I did throughout this story? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming to check out our review of Night Terror Shazam, and we'll be back to cover the ongoing Shazam series as well as any new developments for the character. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.